Hello Game Boys and Game Girls, I'm the Game Boy Guru and welcome to another pickups video. Hopefully the audio is okay. I've got a new mic here that I'm using to try and get a little bit better control over the audio. So we'll see how this comes out. But it's been a couple of months and I've got lots to show off. So let's not waste any time. First and foremost, I want to make sure and give a big shout out to Duke Togo, who hooked me up with some stuff. Was getting rid of a couple of items in his collection, so I was able to benefit from that. So thank you to Duke Togo for hooking me up with Sky Kid on the NES, as well as NES version of Tailspin, and one that I've been after for a while, Super Spy Hunter, which is a pretty cool game. And not one that I see much in the wild these days. So very glad to finally have this, as well as the Twinbee Portable Collection on the PSP. I've had the Parodius Collection for quite some time, but neglected to buy the Twinbee and Salamander collections. So now I have this, and I'll be after the Salamander collection hopefully soon. And of course I already have the Gradius collection because that was released here in North America. And funny enough, that's what I've been playing most recently on my PSP. But anyway, glad to finally have this. I'm not as big a Twinbee fan as I am of Parodius, but I wanted to make sure and get this because when we cover the Twinbee series on the Shmup Club and on my podcast, you know, I want to make sure that I've got accessible ways to play these games. So again, thanks to Duke Togo for hooking me up with these. All right, I picked up some stuff here recently from several places, and so let's go ahead and well, we'll do a couple more mail items. I managed to get my pre-order of Softstar from Banana Bite Games. Came from Red Art Games, of course, who did the physical. This is the PS4 release, as you can see, and this is pretty cool. Let's crack this baby open. Definitely going to want to put some time into this. And of course, I forgot to mention at the top of the video, this is all my March and April acquisitions, because I had already done a video for the January, February stuff. And so here, I'll go ahead and flip the game over so that it's properly oriented in the case. Here you've got the inside. There's the outside of the case, and in here is, they usually don't have manuals in Red Art Games releases, but they did include this nice, this nice little sort of poster ad thing with the key art there, and it also came with this. This really large poster tube. And so now I have, and I'm not even going to probably be able to show the whole thing on camera, this giant Softstar art poster that is really cool. I don't currently have any place to hang it up, but I hope to at some point. So for now, this is going to stay rolled up and in the protective tube so that I can keep this in really nice condition until such time that I actually find a suitable location to frame it and hang it. I just don't have wall space in my apartment as it stands currently, so we'll have to wait. But this is a pretty cool shoot 'em up, and I haven't really messed with it much, but my co-host on my podcast has really enjoyed this one, so I'm looking forward to putting some time in. And once again, more shoot 'em ups. This time I got both versions of Crisis Wing. This was the release done through VGNY Soft. So of course we got Switch, which is the Elite Edition that has a couple of one little extra goodie here, and then of course the standard PS4 release. This is a very Toaplan-esque shoot 'em up. Some people have kind of said this is, you could almost call this Truxton 3 in some ways, or Tatsujin 3, just because of the similarity this game has to the previous games, the two Truxton or Tatsujin games. And so those came with these little cards here. And it's nice that they're different for Switch or PS4. That's kind of a cool detail. And of course with these little stickers. And this Elite Edition on the Switch came with this fun logo pin. And it says, "Thank you for supporting physical games" on the back here. So that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and pop into at least one of these so you can kind of see what this is all about. Whoops. Don't quite have all the plastic, do I? That's going to be fun to clean up later. All right, so we've got nice inside art there. You got your Switch game cart there, or card, and then there's the certificate of authenticity inside, and a little manual, Crisis Wing Confidential. And so we've got your standard stuff in there, gameplay modes, an overview of the game. I do love the representation here in the manual of the CRT style TV, and even the explanation of Tate mode. So that's a fun detail. And you know, nice full color glossy pages, very nice quality. So definitely looking forward to messing around with this one at some point. I'm going to go ahead and put these stickers, or the sticker in the case. And I may end up putting these art cards in the PS4 version. In fact, let's go ahead and crack this open as well, just so you can see what's going on in here. Oh, and there's the back, so you can see that. Oh, interesting. So the PS4 version doesn't have a manual, just the certificate of authenticity. Edition limited to 2,000 copies. And I like the fact that it's different art in the PS4 version. I'm not sure how well that'll come across on camera, but it's different inlay art than on the Switch version. That's a nice detail. And of course there's the game disc itself. But I'm going to go ahead and put, along with this certificate of authenticity, these two cards. Even though one is technically for the Switch version, it does not fit in the Switch case, so we'll go ahead and put it in there. And then I will have to find some place to house this this item. So always glad to have new shmups, as you watching should well know if you watch my channel at all. And so glad to have those. And one more shmup item here before I move on to something else. And this is something I've been meaning to buy for a while, but just hadn't got around to it. And this is a paperback, Shmup Ascension by Dace. And Dace is the person who runs the Shmuptopia channel here on YouTube. And I know Dace has said that this book is older. I want to say he published this in 2016, if I remember correctly. Oh, 2020. Okay, so not that old, but yeah, just sort of a short read, not very long. It's what, less than 50 pages, or it's about 50 pages. Yeah, less than 50 pages. Um, as a means of trying to improve your skills and learning from your mistakes and all of that sort of thing. Just some different techniques and things. So this will be a fun short read to kind of sit through and go through. And Dace has said that he's improved and his process has improved and all of that since this book came out. And a lot of that has been documented on his Shmuptopia channel. But I still wanted to get a copy of it because, of course, I did. So anyway, that'll be fun to read through. Moving on to some non-shmup stuff. I found some 7800 games recently at a game store I like to go to. So I got a copy of Galaga. Always like Galaga. Miss Pac-Man, which I always enjoy. And also Robotron 2084, which my understanding is this is a pretty decent version of the game on the 7800. And this is a game that I never really played much growing up. But having played it more recently on an arcade cabinet, my trip last year to Chicago and so forth, I kind of got a little bit of the bug. So I definitely want to put some time into that. Couple more items that I got recently. Picked up a couple of things from GameStop when I was there, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And so I definitely wanted to make sure and pick up the Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. This is the sort of prequel to Bayonetta. And it's got a bit of a different play style, different art style, a bit more whimsical, I guess you could say, than the other games. And so, looking forward to that. I also got this Terra trilogy, which I didn't even know got a PS4 release. I picked up the Switch release on Amazon, I think, when it went dirt cheap. And I'm not going to show the price, but this is even cheaper than when I bought that Switch version new. So when I saw this at GameStop, I thought, yeah, I probably better pick that up before I lose my chance. But it's just 3 simple games that sort of mimic the early vector style arcade games, you know, kind of mimicking the Scramble and Moonlander and, you know, that kind of style of games. And then speaking of vector games, another one that I picked up is Tempest 4000. This was dirt cheap, and so I decided it was time for me to finally get a copy. A couple more things I picked up at GameStop, and the previous time I went there, I definitely wanted to make sure that I picked up Metroid Prime. I actually recently played through Metroid Prime on the Metroid Prime Trilogy collection on the Wii. And outside of a handful of frustrations I had with it, I really enjoyed my time with the game. And so I kind of wanted to, you know, grab this and make sure that I had that to play and compare. And I thought it was high time that I finally got Nier Automata. And this is the End of Yora edition. So I think this includes the content from the DLC name, which is too long and I'm not going to read it. But yeah, includes the DLC. So this will be fun to mess with. This was developed by Platinum Games, I believe. And I've said many times I like Platinum Games, even though I'm not always very good at them. As I mentioned before with Bayonetta. And so definitely glad to have those. Let's see here. When I went to the game store here semi-recently, local. It's an hour away, but it's local as I can get for a game store. I bought some music CDs because they do used CDs there, but I kind of was just browsing to see if there was anything game-wise, and I sort of went on a little bit of an Xbox binge while I was there. So I got, this is one that I hadn't heard of. This is Combat 1-to-1 Task Force 121. That's not a mouthful at all. Another first-person shooter. Kill Switch, which, again, first-person shooter. Kind of been in that mode. GoldenEye Rogue Agent. I did not have the Xbox version. I think I might have the PS2 version. Yeah, I do. I can see it over here on the shelf. But the Xbox version does support 480p, so of course that's how I'm going to want to experience it. Once again, Brothers in Arms Earned in Blood. I have the other Brothers in Arms game on Xbox, but not this one. I picked up Headhunter Redemption. And this is one that I did not expect to see, and I certainly did not expect to see it at this price point. And that is the Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I have a disc-only copy of this that I picked up years ago at a pawn shop for, I think, $2. And that's the version on Xbox that I've had. I've had the GameCube version since I first bought my GameCube. That was one of the early games that I bought. But the GameCube version, unfortunately, has this issue where the jump and fire buttons are reversed. So any muscle memory I had of playing these games as a kid is completely thrown out the window because you have to reverse it. Well, this should solve that. And even though I now have the Mega Man Legacy Collection, I think it is, on the Switch, I still wanted to complete this copy. So I may turn around and either trade or sell my disc-only copy. Also got Gun Griffin Allied Strike. Little mech action there. Grabbed by the Ghoulies, a rare title. Not rare as in uncommon, but developed by Rare themselves. And so that's kind of a neat one. And then Rogue Ops, which I don't know much about, but we'll see. We'll see if this one's any good. A couple more items I got recently. One I got in the mail, and two that I bought. One I got in the mail is this, which is completely stupid, but it is a 64 gigabyte micro SD XC card for Nintendo Switch. Now, of course, micro SD cards are universal, but this one says it's for Switch because it's Nintendo branded, and of course it has Link from Breath of the Wild getting ready to shoot an ancient arrow. So, of course I had to have it because I'm a doofus, but it was also next to nothing. So this is probably just going to stay in the package because I have much larger micro SD cards for devices at this point. So this is just going to be a showpiece. And also, as showpieces, I bought a couple of these figures at Walmart. And these are Breath of the Wild Link and Zelda figurines. Not sure where I'm going to display these yet, because my setup along the wall that I'm looking at here is full. I have a World of Nintendo Link figurine. I've got all my Breath of the Wild amiibo up there, except the Guardian, which is too big to hang up there, and a couple of other things. So I might have to swap out a couple pieces that are not Breath of the Wild, and then maybe eventually get to where all of my stuff up here is Breath of the Wild, except my Bayonetta amiibo. But yeah, it's Breath of the Wild, so I had to have it. But these are pretty cool. I like kind of the representations of these characters in these figures. I think they look nice, and so they weren't too expensive. I figured, you know, might as well splurge a little bit now and then for fun stuff like this. So I did. Go ahead and set these to the side for the moment. A couple more items in the mail here. I got the Contra Anniversary Collection from Limited Run Games, and it's going to be one of the last ones to come with an art card, since they are changing their policy on that due to some games taking an excessive amount of time to ship. And they said part of that is because they are waiting on these art cards, because there are so many, I guess there are so many places printing collectible cards now that it's easy to become backlogged. And so anyway, we'll just, I guess we'll just learn to live without them. But this does have, oh, this is nice. This does have reversible art. If I can get the little manual out. So there's the main art there. I'm not sure what's different here. It doesn't really look substantially different. I guess it looks a little different, but it's not very different. But you've got the game card here, this little manual, which limited run manuals are always pretty nice. There's your game information there about Contra and Super C, Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Operation C for Game Boy, Contra Hardcore, Super Probotector, and Probotector, of course. Notably, the and this also includes the arcade versions of Contra and Super Contra. Notably, the what is it? Contra Force, I think, on the NES is missing, but that was only branded that way in North America. The original Japanese release was completely different and was totally unrelated, so it's not technically a Contra game. Also got this Limited Run Games distributed release, Snow Brothers Nick and Tom Special, kind of a update of the Snow Brothers game. I've long been a fan of Snow Brothers, in part because along with R-Type 2 and Cabal and a couple of other games, this is one of the arcade games that was at my hometown bowling alley for a while. And so I put a decent amount of money into this, into the arcade version at least. And so, oh, that's kind of cool. So we've got some inlay art there with the characters and the manual, of course, and sticker sheets. So that's kind of fun. So that is Snow Brothers, Nick and Tom. And because I'm a doofus, even though I already had purchased or pre-ordered the early PS4 physical version of Super Hydora, I decided to continue to be a dork and buy the Switch version. So, yeah, that's just how I do. But we'll go ahead and crack this open so you can see what this looks like. So we've got the front and back here. You can kind of see, and this is a slip cover. I do like this. This is a nice box. This real shiny looking kind of metal. It's not metal, but it's sort of supposed to look like that. I can never open these without creasing them a little bit, but that's okay. Games are meant to be played, right? So this is a This is the little keychain thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to see in the packaging. Let me open this up quick so I can show it off. There we go. Oops. There's the keychain. And let's pull this flap here and see what we've got. Well, that's pretty cool. Thank you for your support. Is that everything, or am I still missing something? Oh, yes. There we go. Okay. So we have the Super Hydora soundtrack, extended OST. I'll have to check this against the one that came with the PS4 release to see. I don't remember if it has these additional bonus tracks, but this is a lot of music. 76 tracks. But since they're mostly short, because of the fact that they're, short game music loops, I suppose this is all fits on one CD. This is a little digipack. So I'll have to compare that. This is a fun item. This is sort of a little mini folding arcade cabinet replica deal. It sort of shows on the back of the box here. So that's kind of a fun item. There's this piece in here. Thank you for your support from Abbey Light Studios and Loco Molito and Grisor87 who developed the game, and I think Grisor, or was it Loco Molito? I don't remember who did music and who did the development. I think Loco Molito did the development and Grisor did the music. And there's this nice Making of Super Hydora book as well. I'm pretty sure this is not in the PS4 version. Oh wow! So here you have a a page with a bunch of screenshots of various different shooting games that were all influential to Super Hydora, and or Super Hydora was influenced by in some fashion. So Gradius, R-Type, Thunder Force, Darius, Usual Suspects, but then stuff that's a little bit more under the radar, like Saint Dragon, X Multiply, Biohazard Battle, Thundercross, or Raisin Bar. And so, yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna have to thumb through this and give this a read. Oh, and there's even information about other Loco Molito games, so that's pretty cool, including Maldita Castilla, and then discussion on the original version of Hydora before it was updated and became Super Hydora. So this will be a fun read. There's also this Super Hydora sticker, and of course the game itself. I've played some of this on PC, and of course I downloaded and played the original Hydora on PC many years ago when it first came out, and enjoyed that. So I was not at all shy about wanting to support the dev, because this is a good game. And so to me, it wasn't a big deal to double dip on the physicals. Kind of cool. It's got reversible art, so you can choose which cover you like. I like the one that it comes with standard versus that one. And then, of course, the full color manual with different things here. Your ranks, your items, etc. So, very cool. Always very cool to see this stuff and to get these nice collections like this. So let's put a couple of things back in here. See if I can get them all in without messing something up. This case is a little bit weird how they did this. I'll figure it out later. So that is Super Hydora, another limited run physical. A couple more things I got in the mail here recently from Play Asia. This is Never Awake, and this is the Japanese release of the game. I don't know if we're going to get a North American or Western physical, so I decided I wanted to make sure I had this. This is from the same developer, Neotro, who did Veritra. And so I like that game, and this is sort of an interesting, and different sort of approach. It is an auto-scrolling shmup, but it is also twin stick in the sense that your character can aim with the right stick, and you need to aim and take out threats all around you. But you sort of play as this little girl who's stuck in this sort of nightmare world, if you will, and has to kind of fight her way out because I believe she's sick, maybe. And so this is a sort of representative way for her to kind of battle her illness, if you will. No manual and nothing on the inside, but one that I've been looking forward to. And also Akai Katana Shin. Now, this just got announced a few days ago as I record this, a physical through limited run, but we hadn't been, guaranteed that yet, so I wanted to make sure that I got a copy. So I now have the Japanese version on the Nintendo Switch. There's the back. No manual, but nice key art on the inside. And this version of the game, this updated version recently has been relatively well received, so I'm looking forward to it. A couple more things that I picked up at the game store here recently. This was just, a couple weeks ago, I think. So I got another Game Boy game that I don't see much in the wild here recently, and that is Kung Fu Master. Actually, I picked this up not at my usual game store, but somewhere else that I went. And then I picked up Soldier of Fortune Payback on the PS3, kind of sticking with the first-person shooter theme since I've been in that mode, as well as some Wii U games, Skylanders Giants, Skylanders Swap Force, Guitar Hero Live, and Skylanders Superchargers. And I think I'm a little over 30 games away now from having a complete or a full set of US or North American Wii U releases. I guess a full non-variant set, which will be good enough for me. I've got a couple of variants behind here. Let's go ahead and show off a couple of other things here. I got a couple of things in the mail from well, these are Pixel Heart, and so I got their Dreamcast or the Josh Prod Dreamcast port of the Neo Geo game Androdunos, because of course Androdunos 2 has been kind of a recent thing. So we'll go ahead and open this bad boy up. There's the front and the back, you can see there. And there's the inside, and it's kind of cool that the manual, they give you the option of having something that resembles a Western release or that more closely resembles a Japanese release, so it's sort of reversible in that sense. Not a huge fan of Androdunos, but one that I don't think I'll be able to afford very easily on the Neo Geo CD, which I have. So I'll go with this version because it was cheap enough. And of course we got Androdunos 2. And this is the Dreamcast port of that game. Now, of course, Androdunos 2 is out on multiple platforms. I think all the modern platforms, if I recall correctly. But as is the case with a lot of these retro-style modern shooting games that have come out recently, you know, they're being sort of backported, if you will, to Dreamcast. So it'll be interesting to compare and see how it plays as compared to the other versions. And of course, you've got the game disc there and the reversible sleeve with the more Japanese style cover. And along with that, I got this bad boy, the Androdunos MVS Legacy Box edition of the game. This is 52 out of 1,000, and this is kind of a neat little deal. It's supposed to sort of look like what you would get if you bought an MVS game back in the day. And you've got your end label that's supposed to look like a Neo Geo game. And of course, there's the label I was reading off before, 52 out of 1,000. And looks like I can just peel this up. Nice. I don't have to cut it. Oop. Now, assuming I can open this, here we go. All right, so inside we have this little replica control panel deal with your basic instructions on playing. That's a nice little addition there. You've got this here, which has your certificate of authenticity, and this nice little card here, Androdunos 2 Moves. And it has both a PS4 and Joy-Con representation there. This is kind of a nice thick card. And then there's this, looks like a poster. Yep. Or some, oh, I see. So here's this Androdunos 2 set hard config. I think it's supposed to sort of be similar to the paperwork that you would get if you bought an MVS game back in the day. And so there's, since the game was originally Visco, you've got that branding there. And then this instruction sheet. So that's pretty cool. That all comes with the game. But now let's get to the game itself. So you have this nice casing, which looks like an MVS cartridge shell, right down to the label there on the end. And of course, inside the shell, you have the Androdunos 2 soundtrack CD. That's of course going to get ripped and go right onto my home media server, so I can listen to that, and the Switch game itself. Now, I already bought a version of this through VGNY Soft. So for now, I might just leave the game sealed, even though I opened up everything else. I'm probably going to leave the game itself sealed for now, because I don't need 2 open copies of Androdunos 2 for the Switch, while also having a Dreamcast copy of Androdunos 2 and a 3DS copy of the game that's sitting over here on the shelf. So I'll probably just leave this version in the case for now, just because I don't necessarily, like I said, I don't necessarily need to have it open. Hopefully all of this crinkling is not too loud for the microphone. We shall see. So that was pretty cool to kind of get in the mail. And I'm going to slip this back into this nice little band. And there we go. The Androdunos 2 MVS Legacy Box Edition. So there you have it. Another item I got in the mail recently is the Nixie Wizard. This is the GameCube style Joy-Con alternative. And so this is something that I pre-ordered and was kind of looking forward to. I haven't messed with it yet because I haven't opened it yet, but some early reviews, I'm a little bit concerned. One of the reasons I bought this was so that I could use it with the flip grip, and because these are wireless, and so I wanted to be able to play my Switch handheld but not use the Joy-Cons, and so I was hoping the D-pad on this would be reasonably good. So far, first impressions from folks are not great, so I may have to look into a D-pad mod of some kind. But we've got a little manual here. We've got this thing that says Pack Accessories, which is your USB-C charging cable, and these caps. And these are so that you can decide whether you want the standard GameCube style 8-way gated approach, or if you want an unrestricted one. And so the way that this is set up is like the GameCube controller. You can hear you've got these gates in here that simulate the way that a GameCube controller works, so that you have that, it's analog control, but you still have that sort of 8-way nudging, if you will, in terms of how you use it. But the way this is supposed to work is that these are a Joy-Con replacement. And so these come apart like this from this little grip or joiner here. And then each one of these acts as its own Joy-Con. So you can actually take you can turn this deal here on the top. I don't remember which way you have to turn in order to loosen it. I'll have to, oh, there it is. So you can loosen that, and then I think you pull out the whole deal once you have it loose. Yeah, you pop off the whole thing, and then you can change out just the gate if you want to go with the more Joy-Con style kind of deal. So anyway, but yeah, these were marketed as an alternative to the traditional Joy-Con themselves, and you know, they've got the buttons on the top here and the sync button. You got your standard A, B, X, Y, your shoulder buttons, and they also have these macro buttons on the back that you can program and you know, set up how you want. So I don't know, I'm gonna give them a chance. I'm gonna play with them and see what I like. They can be charged individually via USB-C, or if you have them on the Switch and the Switch docked or plugged in, they will charge on the Switch as well. So that's handy. You've got options. I don't do a whole lot of travel, and I don't usually take my Switch with me too much when I travel, because I don't want to leave my Switch in a hotel somewhere to potentially have it stolen. But, you know, if I go and visit family for a couple of days, you know, I might take my Switch with me, and when everybody else goes to sleep, I might lay in bed for half an hour before I go to sleep and, you know, play a little Switch. So might be worth taking these along with me to see how they work, and have the flip grip in tow, throw them in my travel bag, and see if they'll do the job. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to rule these things out until I give them a good, you know, a good road test. But I do know that some of the early impressions have not been fantastic. Apparently, underneath the D-pad, it's not a traditional D-pad with a high center deal. They're just buttons, like the Joy-Con buttons. So you can just press down and press all four directions at once. Not ideal. So if there's a way that I can get another D-pad in here that'll fit and get that high center so it'll act more like a traditional D-pad, much like some of the D-pad mods that you can get for the Joy-Con, I may end up looking into that to see what my options are. But I'm going to give them a chance either way, because I want to be able to use my Switch better in the flip grip, and I really don't like holding on to the Joy-Con, you know, left and right Joy-Con controllers when I do it. So these are more substantial, they've got the grippiness, and I think I'll like the way they feel better. So we'll give it a shot, we'll see how it works, and hopefully this ends up being something that I can use and enjoy. We'll set that aside for a second. And I want to show this off next because this was a birthday gift. I got this from my brother, who is very good at buying gifts. I'm not as good at buying gifts as he is, but he kind of always knows. This is the Arcade book. This is from Bitmap Books, and this is the extended edition. And you can kind of see here on the back, there's art from Centipede, arcade art from Centipede. And this is the glow-in-the-dark slipcase, which of course the text glows. I've already seen that. Very cool. So let's go ahead and crack this open. I didn't open it the other day when he gave it to me, because he gave it to me in the restaurant, and I didn't really want to open it when we were eating and potentially get this thing dirty or, you know, make a mess. And I decided to wait and open it so I could do so on camera for all of you. Okay. So this is pretty cool. It just sort of slides out from the slip cover there. And yeah, this is really slick. And same design on the back there. And so the Book of Classic Arcade Game Artwork. Oh, wow. Yeah, bitmap books. So originally kind of done in 2015, and then this is an updated version. Wow. Look at all of this. There are over 300 games in here featured. And there's some interviews. Oh, very nice. Wow. So here you go. Here's a Midway game that I'm sure many of you probably have never heard of. Lazarian or Lazarian. Certainly not one that I was familiar with. Solar Fox. Moon Patrol. Pirate Pete. Pork Chops. Hot Shocker. Huh. You got Puyon, Dark Planet. Yeah, this is cool stuff. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Oh, there we go. Got some marquee art for Crush Roller and Cruisin' Exotica. Let's see what else we have. There's Dig Dug and Domino Man. Nice. Frontline, early title game, and Galaga, of course. Yeah, this is really cool. Load Runner and Looping. So, oh, this is fantastic. I am going to eat this up. Lunar Lander, Mad Planets, Mario Brothers, Marble Madness, Map Mania, Mechanized Attack by SNK, Midnight Resistance, Data East, very, very cool. Millipede, oh, this is sweet. So, my awesome brother, oh, and Mr. Dew's Castle, oh, man, I played so much Mr. Dew's Castle at the mom and pop taco shop in my hometown that sadly is no more. But yeah, I played a lot of Mr. Dew's Castle. So this is a very, very cool birthday present. Huge thanks to my awesome brother who picked this up for me. And he said he was just kind of browsing Amazon and trying to find something for my birthday. Came across this and said, yep, my brother will like that. He's right. So, very cool. Now, you would think with everything that I've showed off that would be enough. But no, it's not. I have one more thing to show off, and that is the special edition Nintendo Switch OLED Tears of the Kingdom bundle. This is, of course, the new Nintendo Switch console with the branding that reflects the Tears of the Kingdom forthcoming release. As I record this, we are about just over a week away from the release of Tears of the Kingdom. And so I am beyond hyped. As those of you who watch my channel know, Breath of the Wild is my favorite game, and I can't even really express how excited I am for Tears of the Kingdom at this point. So of course we have the Switch itself, and it still surprises me to this day how small this thing is. But this is the new one, of course, with the smaller bezel and slightly larger OLED display. We have these wonderful gold branded Joy-Con with all the Tears of the Kingdom kind of style art there. Simple white shell on the back. Very cool. And underneath of here is the usual stuff, health and safety regulations, etc. We have our power supply and HDMI cable, as well as the grip for the Joy-Con. The grip is a standard one. It's not branded, so this is just like the one I got with my launch model. Nothing new there. But to match these pads, there are these nice white, I don't even remember what you call these things, little sliders that go on the top of these Joy-Con when you want to make it just a single controller for multi-person multiplayer. And the color scheme of this is, you've got the sort of gold braided cable wrist strap for these, and then the white and the black kind of mirrors the white shell and black buttons there. So that's a nice detail. And then of course you have the Tears of the Kingdom branded Switch dock, which is just gorgeous. You got all the nice little designs with the Triforce logo on the front there and little accents on the back. And then of course, as with any regular Switch dock, opens up. Oh, this one actually comes out instead of just flipping out like the original. One of the nice things about this version of the dock is the updated dock actually has an Ethernet port in here instead of just an extra USB-C port. And so instead of having to have a dongle for the Switch to put it on a wired network when it's docked, it actually is built in. I have a dongle for my launch Switch, and as far as I'm aware, the dongle that is used for the launch Switch is the exact same deal, basically, that was used to make a Wii or a Wii U wired. And I actually have the box for it. You can't see it, but it's up on the wall here, hanging up. So what I might do, since my launch Switch is going to go into the bedroom, and this is going to be the one that's in the living room hooked up to my streaming setup, what I might end up doing is moving that USB dongle over to my Wii U. Or possibly the Wii. There's not much I can do on the Wii U these days in terms of internet, although I guess technically I can still download games that I purchased on the Wii U eShop. So I might do that just so I can download those games a little bit faster, because wirelessly stuff takes forever to download on the Wii U. So that might be worth doing. But yeah, very excited to have this. I will be hooking this up to the TV next week, because the very first game that I'm going to play on my Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch is Tears of the Kingdom. My original launch Switch, when I bought it on launch day, I've mentioned this before, but it's been a while, and I bought it on launch day at a store that was local to me, literally in my town, but all they had was the Switch console. They had 2 of them. And so I bought one, but they had no games. And so I decided, rather than pay for and download a game, I was just going to wait till the weekend so I could go and pick up a couple. And I went and I bought Super Bomberman R and Breath of the Wild. And the first game that I played in my Switch was not, in fact, Breath of the Wild. It was Super Bomberman R. I messed around with that for a little while before I started playing Breath of the Wild. So I decided, since I'm going all in, and I've got the Nintendo Switch OLED that is Tears of the Kingdom branded, I've already got the Pro Controller and carry case that are Tears of the Kingdom branded on order, and I'll be picking them up next Friday. I figured I might as well just go all in, and my brand new Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED will be christened officially with Tears of the Kingdom when I go to play it. So I'm looking forward to this. You don't even know. Like I said, I can't even really express how excited I am, and it might not seem that way just because of how normally I'm talking. I'm not effusive like a little kid, but I'm pretty stoked about it, and I am very much looking forward to the chance to play this new game. So that is the newest console in my library, the Nintendo Switch OLED. I think I need to set that over here like this. Yeah, there we go. Then there'll be room for the Joy-Con. Oh, wait a minute. These have got to go down in here. Yeah. I did this wrong, didn't I? Oh well. That's alright. They don't really need to be fully packed away. This is all just temporary because this bad boy is getting hooked up in just a few days' time. And I will be playing the tar out of this Nintendo Switch OLED. And believe you me, I will be as many hundreds of hours as I've put into my existing Nintendo Switch, I will likely be putting into this one as well. And my launch model will, as I said, go into the bedroom, and we'll still get used there. Since this one doesn't technically work right with the flip grip, because it's ever so slightly different, I will be hopefully getting more use out of the flip grip with my new Nixie pad, and be able to do some of that on the couch in the evenings after I stream and I'm kind of casually watching whoever I rated, or in the evenings while I'm winding down, play a little Switch on the launch model, and then do most of my streaming and primary Switch gaming on this bad boy. That is all I have. That's all of my March and April 2023 pickups and arrivals and birthday gift. So, what do you guys think? What here would you be the most excited about? Maybe I'll say besides the Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED. But I guess if you're most excited about that, let me know and tell me what you think. Are any of the older games that I have here classics that you think I should play right away? Are any of the new games here ones that you're excited to try as well? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, consider giving me a thumbs up so you can continue to see, or so that I know that you like it, and then also consider subscribing so you can see more of my videos in your YouTube feed. As always, thank you for watching, thanks for playing, and game on.